Why nations fail. Rethinking the sanctions theory through Venezuela. The reason the sanctions theory has become so popular is simple: it offers the most politically convenient narrative. Failure is not my doing, it is caused by outsiders. A basic question: when did Venezuela's crisis begin to reveal itself systematically? Shortages, inflation, black market exchange rates, and fiscal monetization, the core symptoms of Venezuela's economic collapse, were already in place by 2013 to 2014. At that time, there were no foreign sanctions at all. Venezuela's economic breakdown was caused by the government's own reckless actions. Foreign exchange controls turned the U.S. dollar into a tool of power politics. Price controls crushed profits into negative territory. Fiscal deficits were filled by printing money through the central bank. Nationalization and intimidation forced the private sector to retreat. This kind of suicidal governance dragged Venezuela's economy into the abyss, so how can the blame be pinned on external sanctions? For years, Venezuela imposed strict foreign exchange controls through mechanisms such as KDV. The official exchange rate was set by the government, and dollars were rationed to approved importers and institutions. As a result, the dollar ceased to be a market price signal and became a power resource. Many firms colluding with political authority obtained cheap dollars but did not import, or imported very little, instead engaging in arbitrage. Producers who genuinely needed raw materials could not obtain dollars and were forced to halt production. Meanwhile, the black market exchange rate soared, opening a massive gap. That gap turned society into an arbitrage machine. Those close to power cashed out foreign exchange. Those far from power faced shortages and supply cutoffs. Shortages were not the result of market failure, but of foreign exchange rationing that transformed supply chains from economic relationships into political ones. Disruptions in medicine and food supplies were effectively produced by the allocation system itself. Sanctions do make external financing harder and restrict oil and gas exports, but they merely amplify existing pathologies and provide rulers with a pretext for anti-American mobilization. Long before large-scale sanctions were imposed, Venezuela's currency system, production base, supply chains, and credit mechanisms were already diseased. Sanctions acted as an accelerator, never the engine. The crisis preceded sanctions. Domestic policy preceded external blockade. The sanctions theory has grown loud, almost mainstream in official academia, because it enables an external enemy narrative that obscures responsibility for arbitrary misrule. It serves as a permanent fig leaf for failure, allowing disastrous policies to persist and pushing correction further out of reach. This is why both Chavez and Maduro favor it. In truth, Venezuela's national failure was not a collapse caused by sanctions, but sanctions triggered by collapse and then became the excuse to refuse reform.